Hi everyone and welcome back to this video. In our last tutorial we learned how to set up layers in AutoCAD and why they so important when creating architectural drawings. If you missed the last video, make sure to check it out first because today we'll be using those exact layers in our drawing. So in this session we will be drawing a simple guardhouse plan. The goal is to practice applying the layers we created: walls, doors, windows, dimensions, text, and so on, so you can see how layering makes your work organized and professional. So we're going to jump straight into AutoCAD. Okay, so in our last video we did set up our layers. These are the layers that we did set up. Okay, so we're going to use these layers to create floor plan. So the floor plan we will be doing today is a simple guardhouse plan. Okay, so I'll just show you the PDF plan. Okay, so that's a simple guardhouse plan we're going to draw. So it's a runner. I think the size of this one here is 2.3 by 2.1. So this length, the length of this side is 2.3. This one is 2.1. Okay, so we're going to start off with this floor plan. So first of all, what we're going to do, first thing we're going to do is that we need to draw our wall first. So let's start with the outline of the guardhouse. So we have to make sure on the correct wall layer, you have, you have to begin with that layer. So I'll use wall layer, then I'm going to create a rectangle. So hit the rectangle command, REC. So the size of that one there is 2300 by 2.1. Okay, so that's 2.3 by 2.1. Once you're done with that, the thickness of the wall is 150. So we're going to offset the wall, offset this wall here by 150, not outside but the inside. Once you're done with that, okay, have a look into this. From the outer wall of 150, you're going to offset 200. So from that 200, you'll have your door, and after that door, you'll have your 900, which is the window. So I'll probably just draw a line from this side, make it straight. Okay, F8 to turn on your orthographic. This is the guideline. So this guideline here, I'm going to offset it by 200. Sorry, OF, offset, enter, 200. So that's 200. Now you're going to offset the door. The size of the door is 1000. So you're going to offset this one here by 1000. Look at me right now. I'm doing like the command is still on offset, so I don't have to type offset again. You can just stick to the command, then you can just start clicking onto the lines, then you can enter the distance. So this one is 900. Once you're done with that, what you're going to do now, you're going to trim it. So I'm going to trim this, okay, trim that, also trim this part. Okay, this one you need to delete it. Okay, I've done with one side now. Now I'm going to do the other opening. which is this side. So it's still the same. You're going to offset 200 from the ends. So again, draw another line. Offset this one here by 200. Offset 200. And we trim. Okay. After that, we're going to set the opening for this one as well. So the cut for this one is 200 from the exterior wall. So what I'm going to do, same thing, I'm going to draw my guidelines. That's my guideline. I'm going to offset that by 200. Okay. And then another 200 from this side. Once you're done, I'm going to trim. And that's your walls. Okay. We need to leave this one here because this opening, they both join it together. So I'll just leave that so that I can know where's the center of my door. Okay. So now we're done with walls. What we'll do now, we're going to try and create our openings. So our first opening is this door. The size of the door is 1000. So what we'll do, we'll create the door first from the outside because we need to block it. So rectangle, before we create the door, we change the layer to opening. Rectangle, 50, the width, the length will be 150. Okay, that's 150. Draw a line from this end and put 1 meter so you can know what's the width of the door. So that's the width. What I'm going to do, I'm going to mirror this to the other side, right? And if I'm going to measure this, that's 900. So I'm going to create the door panel. Okay, door panel, we can make it as 50 by 900. Once you've done that, draw an arc, 1 point, draw this frame, then run on the other side, trim this one here, and you've got your door there. So what you're going to do with your door, you're going to block it. Block is creating, like for this door, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different components, then I'm going to create it as one. So that's why we need to block it. Block, select the object, all the objects, then you block it, then you're going to name this one here as 1000 door 1000. Okay, that's my door 1000. Move this door inside midpoint to midpoint. So that's my first door. Once I'm done with the first door, I'm going to create the second opening, which is the window. Okay, so the window, this is how you're going to do the window. You can tell that one there is 900. So I'm going to create the same rectangle, the frame, 50 tab 150. Again, we're going to draw a line just to show where the 900 is. That's 900. So I'm going to copy this to the other side. Okay, and then copy this, take the midpoint, and you paste it onto that midpoint. That's the midpoint. See the triangle? Okay, then we're going to mirror this to the other side. Right, polyline. I don't use line, I use polyline. Okay, Once you're done with that window, measure. It's supposed to be 900. 900. Let's block this window. Call it as window 900. Move midpoint to midpoint. Okay. Once you've already inserted it, delete that. Okay. Now we're going to move to this second last window. We've got two more windows to do. What's the size of this? 1900. Okay. Create the frame first. 50 by 150. Length, total width of the size of this window here is 1900. That's 1900. So what I'm going to do here is this. Look into this. That's 1900. Open it. And there are three bays of window. Okay. So we need to divide this line into three. So what you're going to do, instead of finding where to put those frames, select that line. It's type in divide. So divide, you can use divide to divide a line. Okay. So once already type in divide, select the line, and it's written there. Enter the number of segments. Okay. So the number of segments I need this line to be divided is 3. 3, enter. And right now you can see the point. Okay. So how can we, what's the command to enter so that we can see the point? Command for that one there is ddp type. Okay. ddp type. Enter. Once you press enter, you'll come up with this table. And in this table, you can select this X, any point you want to use. That's the point size you want to change. Okay. That's 5. So we see 5. That's 5. That's the size of number 5. That's good enough. So you're going to copy this midpoint, click it onto that point. This is the point. Okay. Select this, and you can mirror it to the other side. After that, you mirror this one part of the window. After that, close off the midpoint. Mirror. Once done, block. Call this window 900. 1900, sorry. Move midpoint to midpoint. Set. What's the size of the other window? The last one? 1700. Same thing, start off with a frame. 50 by 150. Okay. Polyline 1700. After that, you're going to divide this line. Divide to 3. Type in 3. Enter. Once you already divide, then you copy this midpoint to midpoint. Mirror to the other side. Mirror this one here. Block this window. Then rename it as window 1700. Once you're done with that, you can rotate this and you can move it here. Now I've created all my doors and windows. So the reason why we need to create all of these by layers is that if you want to change something, like you want to turn off opening, turn off this one here, you can just work with your windows. Okay, so it makes works easier. That's why we use the layers in AutoCAD. Okay, so we move on to the next one. Just try and create our hatching. So in hatching, create hatch, and you can hatch. So once you hatch, you can start clicking on this and you can change it to solid. Move on to my layout. Scale this one here to 1:50. Oh, too small. 1:20. That's nice. Okay, look at this. If I'm going to plot it, preview, that's my window. Just my DDTP. Just to take away that X. Okay. So I'm going to plot this again. Preview. Now that's my drawing. You can see the different type of line widths applying there. Okay, see, I'm going to add a thickness to my line. So that's why I'm using polyline. Okay, so if I'm just going to edit the walls, I can edit while the other layers are on. So I need to turn it off. So I'm going to turn off opening and I'm going to turn off hatching off. Okay, so once these are all off, you are opening only walls. All these walls here, I created it using by polyline and rectangle, not line. Okay, it's polyline and rectangle. The two difference, the difference of line and polyline. Line, you cannot change the properties, the thickness and line width. In polyline, you can. Okay, so polyline is the same with rectangle. So look, this is the example I'm trying to explain. If I'm going to select this line, right click, choose on polyline, you can see you have width there. So if I select width, I change the width to 15. Okay, and you can see that line width thickness. Okay, so that's polyline. If I use line, okay, I'm going to create a new line. Okay, put one line here. Sorry, that one is off. Change this one here to walls. Okay, so see, this is a line. If I'm going to change the thickness, you cannot change it because there's no edit here for polyline. So you can change properties for line. Okay, that's why I never use line, I use polyline. So once I've changed one, select this one here. You can match property MA, match property MA, select all of that. Once you already select match property, you can see this line is not joining. Okay. So what you can do, select all of this and you type in join. Now you can see all of these lines are perfectly joined together. This one is not joining. Okay, so what we'll do, join it. Join that. Join this. Also this one. Now if we turn everything back on, okay, go back to layout, plot this way, preview. Now look at that. Look at your line with thickness. Okay, add a lot of thickness. You're adding line with thickness to your wall, so you have to show something that is very important, which is the wall. Okay, so I hope you do understand how to draw a simple floor plan with using of these layers. So in our next video, we'll be explaining annotations and dimensions, text and labelings, and how to print it. Okay. So I hope you do enjoy. Please give a like and follow so that you can watch for more videos. Thank you very much.